Oh dear. What an awkward situation.
Who are your favorite fairy tale villains? In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Disney biography of the infamous Maleficent.
Are you Maleficent?
Now, we first saw Maleficent on screen in Disney's 1959 adaptation of Sleeping Beauty's fairy tale.
Listen well, all of you.
We have Eleanor Audley, the actress who voiced the animated Maleficent, who also voiced Lady Tremaine, aka the evil stepmother in Cinderella, and Madame Leota in Disneyland's Haunted Mansion attraction. If you didn't know who she was, check out this clip.
My dear, what's this I hear about your... haven't I seen you somewhere before?
She has a very sort of evil voice, don't you think? So if you know a little bit about the dark underbelly of fairy tales, you know that behind the happily ever after of Disney films, there is often a much more deep, maybe even sad or scary original. In the Tales of the Brothers Grimm, for which Disney borrowed heavily, Cinderella's stepsisters hack off a chunk of their feet trying to fit into the famous slipper, while in Snow White, the evil queen is fitted with a pair of iron shoes, seared in red-hot coals, and forced to dance in them until she drops dead. In Disney's 1959 film Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent is the self-proclaimed mistress of all evil. But what kind of woman was she actually? I mean, really? And what do you know of the dark secrets hidden in the stories she emerged from?
Then you'll be afraid.
Now, when the world first met Maleficent in the early 17th century, she was neither witch nor evil fairy. The villainess is, in fact, a queen betrayed. When her husband, the king, cheats on her and starts a new family with the younger Princess Talia, the queen orders the illegitimate children of their union killed, cooked, and fed to her husband. And so Maleficent emerged onto the world stage. A woman with no rights, with no recourse when her husband lies to her and cheats on her with a younger woman, she becomes a woman with an archetype of being mad and hysterical, and who is jealous, vain, and petty, and who stoops to cruelty and murder to get her revenge. In the late 17th century, Charles Perrault picked up the mantle of Bastille's story and recast it as the Sleeping Beauty in the Wood. Here, Maleficent becomes a different kind of evil woman. She is part old fairy, jealous and spiteful and murderous, and part ogress, a woman who cannot be trusted to abstain from eating her own grandchildren and or feeding them to a pit of snakes. So then, the Brothers Grimm borrowed Perrault's narrative, but left out the ogress. In fact, the whole serving people for dinner thing is deleted altogether. And we're left with more or less a Sleeping Beauty as a retold by Disney 1959 version.
Stand back, you fools!
It is here that our villainess first gets the name Maleficent. Until that point, she actually didn't have a name, and she's known only on derogatory terms. It is not until 2014's film Maleficent, however, that she sheds her two-dimensional reputation for evil and fights the long-standing negative stereotyping of women that has haunted this story through the ages. The original tale has another dark secret. Now this is pretty intense. It's rape. Remember the married king who cheated on his rightful queen and started a new family with Princess Talia? Yeah, that all happened while Talia was sleeping. That's right. In the original story, the king rapes and impregnates the princess, fathering 2 children upon her in her sleep. Disney's 2014 Maleficent pays homage to this buried secret. Here's a spoiler alert. When the fairy's former love cuts her wings off of her body in her sleep, the rest of the film sort of becomes about reclamation of women's bodies and women's power. So we're done with all that dark stuff now. I hope you learned a little bit about it, and let me know what you think in the comments below. It took a lot of skill and effort to make Angelina Jolie look that evil. The star had to be in the makeup room for over 4 hours every single morning. So Maleficent in the 2014 version is sort of a dark fantasy film.
Don't touch me. You're the evil that's in the world. It's you.
Directed by Robert Stromberg from a screenplay by Linda Wolverton. Linda Wolverton actually did a lot of screenplays back in the day. Angelina Jolie was attached to this project for a long time, since March of 2010. That was when Tim Burton was actually interested in becoming the director, but he chose not to pursue it. Jolie, on the other hand, desired to play this role since she was a little girl. And when filming Maleficent, Disney needed a little child to play young Aurora, but all of the 3 or 4-year-old performers wouldn't come near Jolie in that costume. They ended up choosing Jolie's actual, real daughter, Vivian, because she was the only one who would not be scared of her.
So we realized that the only 4-year-old that would not run away from me was my own daughter.
So if you didn't know, there's actually another version of Maleficent that just came out. Maleficent is the main antagonist in the Disney Channel original movie Descendants. She is the leader of the Disney villains and also Mal's mother.
Now the time has come, my dear, for you to take your place. Promise me you'll try to be an absolute disgrace.
Maleficent is considered the most dangerous and feared villain. So who is your favorite version of Maleficent? Is it the dark and creepy versions from the fairy tale back in the day? Or is it the cartoon from 1959? Maybe it's Angelina Jolie's character in the 2014 version, or perhaps it's the newest version from the movie Descendants. I think my favorite version would be Angelina Jolie. That'll be it for this episode on Maleficent. If you like this video, click that like button, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys in another one. CP out!